Hi.
What's happening?
All right, guys,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, look at all these cameras and microphones.
Robot.
Holy crow.
Can we get a quick photo real quick?
Nope.
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
No problem. What is that?
I know.
Jesus.
This is greatness.
Is that a microphone
Seriously,
or is that
what's going on
a
there?
video or all of
It
it?
is a microphone. It's like XY cross, so I'm turning it down. So to only pick up this.
Whoa.
Wow.
It's on you. Say interesting things. So what are we talking about today? Hi.
Hi.
Yeah.
How are you guys today?
We're good.
Good.
We don't
All
know
good.
where we are, but it's good.
Who's the last person you interviewed? Like just now?
Greg Grunberg.
Oh, right on.
Before this.
Who's
Yeah.
Grunny? All
Yeah.
right. I like that guy.
I do too.
All right. Cool.
Okay,
Go ahead.
We're in that. Okay.
All right, so but we'll start with Breckin. You pull a lot of duties on this show, writing and
It's a duty.
voicing. Oh, it's gonna be that kind of interview, is it?
You started it. Yeah.
So how did you kind of get involved, and how did you decide to do more than just be an actor and really get into the whole nuts and bolts?
Yeah, how
of
do we
it?
sucker you into
I was about to
this?
say, I got started, I think, Seth and I had an office together, which was like a clubhouse. And he was talking about this idea he and Matt had come up with when he was going to go do Conan, and which was the first sketch. And it was, we all did voices on it and stuff, and it just became this thing. Seth and Matt ran with it, and then it became like, hey, we're doing it as a real show. And from, I think, season 1, I was involved voice-wise, and then by season 2, I was writing on it. Because really, I mean, we in the booth anyway, we make up a lot of stuff, and by the second season, I was like, I want to come in and write. And it's just, let's say 8 guys goofing off, playing with action figures, trying to make each other laugh. My whole goal on the show, whenever I'm recording a voice, is to get Seth in that little box. I mean, the sound booth. He doesn't live in a box. I mean, he's not big, but he could live in a little box. But is to make him laugh. You know what I mean? And vice versa. So it's like no matter how many other gigs I'm doing, this is the one solid. Like I always call it my day job. This is the one I will always come back to, no matter how long I'm doing other stuff or whatever, or how busy.
What's the writing process like? Because obviously it's
It's an awful experience.
It's a weird experience.
It's a weird experience. Our writer's room now is like, we have 6 writers that sit in the room, and it's literally from like 9 a.m. to about 3 or 4 p.m. just typing vigorously to themselves. At about 3, 4 o'clock, we print out all the ideas. Seth and I now walk into the room, and we'll tell people what we like and don't with our other 2 head writers who get votes. No one else in the room gets votes because we're
Don't
elitist.
even fucking get me started about this, by
Which
the
will
way.
make him miserable.
Do not fucking get me started about the voting process of this show.
And it has to be a 3-to-1 scenario to get into the show, and people like him hate us for it. But that's what makes it so enjoyable for the rest of us. We like to get them worked up. Yeah. It makes them write better.
Yes. Or it just makes them go to other shows and not show up.
Exactly.
But yes.
So what are some of the difficulties you guys have when you're working on the process of all this?
What difficulties?
Yes.
I think the hardest part, it's an intense process. Like, stop motion is not easy, and like you have animators that are working on shots, and they'll do maybe 8 seconds a day, and that's a good day. It's a very long, tedious process, and you're doing that at the same time on 17 stages. Plus, you're doing animatics and records at the same time while writing episodes for other ones. So we're working on everything all at the same time and jumping from thing to thing. And it's compartmentalizing and trying to remember what you're working on as you jump from the different departments. You have to approve a puppet. You have to jump to see the sets that are getting built. Make sure the lighting's looking all right on the stages. It's a whirlwind of a day. And you start at like 8 a.m. and by 8 p.m. you don't know what's going on, and you're just like, okay, I'm fried. I gotta take a break. But
and then creatively, you have. It takes 11 months from when it's on the script to when it's actually a show. So you got to make sure that whatever you're pitching is going to be relevant. Sometimes you're gambling because you're like, I really hope this Pacific Rim sketch will be good in a year. And then you're like, crapped out. Okay. But
do you ever have to scrap sketches because of that? Because they're not topical anymore?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Again, once it gets to animatic phase, we cut more sketches. A lot of those end up on our DVD as deleted stuff. But yeah, it's really just what works, because again, even if something's not relevant, if it just plays as funny, I mean, the biggest thing that we try to do is it's less about the property that we're playing with than the situation that we can put them in. Right. We want to make it relevant for a viewer where it's just, people going to 7-Eleven. Part of the best fun is putting these absurd characters in mundane situations.
Right. do you ever get pushback from any of the people whose properties you're making fun of?
Rarely. Yeah, if at all. Like, if anything, I think they see it as free paid advertising. You know, like, free
Unless
and
they
paid.
don't.
Yeah.
Usually the ones who don't need it tend to push every now and then. But like, I mean, when we first did the Star Wars sketches, that was the one where you're like, this is the most litigious property owner on the planet.
Right.
If we're gonna get sued by anyone, it's gonna be this guy, you know. And when we finally got like the Emperor's phone call, when we got that through, and then we heard George was actually
He was showing it at a board meeting.
Yeah,
You're like, oh my god, all right.
Like, oh my god, we got through to it. That's
Right.
amazing. So we've been really lucky for the most part.
Yeah, and now we're on Toy Complex. Like, Mattel sends us a box every month.
Nice.
So no complaints there. I have more He-Man toys than anyone ever needs to understand.
Your wife might have complaints
Yeah,
about
that's
that,
true.
about
That's a
that
good
fact,
point.
but yeah.
Do you have to go searching for like rare toys sometimes to get the exact one you want for a sketch?
We actually, up until this recent season,
That's a toy
we
wrangler.
we had a guy's job who was to just find the toys that we needed.
Right.
You know, it's becoming more. It's a lot easier now than it was when we started. eBay didn't really exist when we started the show, but yeah, it was someone's job to get that stuff.
Cool.
So.
We'll give somebody else a chance.
So do all the characters that you bring into the show, does that add a lot of time to the process itself? And if so, does it ever complicate your process?
Not really. I mean, I would say, you know, most of the time, like, whatever our idea is, we'll make it work. And if we can't find the toy, we will build the toy. We have a toy shop in our a puppet shop in our building, and they produce probably about 120 toys a week. You know, it's our little sweatshop, if you will. But that's what these guys do, and they you know, these are the sculptors who built all the things from every other stop motion, you know, feature you can think of, are now just building toys for us that can move the way we need them to. And even if we buy a toy, we have to repose them or fix the armature underneath so they can pose the way we want. Yeah.
What's the most complicated or frustrating skit you guys have done?
Frustrating skit that we've done? Anything with water. Water in stop motion is like the devil because it never looks the way you want it to look, and it won't stay still for you to take a picture, so you can't actually use water. I don't know. What would you say most complicated?
I don't even want to talk about the voting process. I'm talking about the most complicated process. That's the most complicated process. You write something where you're like, this is gold, and then you get 2 votes for it and 2 votes against it. So then you're now just getting into this filibustering lobbying situation. We're like, dude, if you vote for it, you're doing the right thing. And then eventually, there are times I will literally hit
Walk
Seth
out
up.
of the room.
I will walk out of the room, or I will hit Seth up at night and be like, you didn't vote for that. You made a mistake today. Like, today was a bad day for you. Like, as far as society went, you let it down. You know, things like that.
Last question, guys.
I got a question. I feel like y'all's most popular skit is the gumdrops, like the gummy bear one.
Yeah.
Where did that come from?
It's rude,
This
right?
is actually, it was just Tom,
Yeah.
but literally on the page, all it says was it was a gummy bear that's going to get trapped into this thing and scream her head off.
Right.
Michelle Trachtenberg came in and actually made up that song in the booth. And it turned into this gold. Like, again, you never know what sketch is going to turn into something that's amazing.
Yeah.
And again, it's that ad-libbing in the booth that, you know, is what Breckin does, especially as Boba Fett, that makes it take it, again, every department that we give it to makes it better. And, you know, passing it to Michelle in that case turned it into this beautiful gold mine.
Yeah, I know people who have never seen the show,
But they know
have
that.
YouTube
Yeah.
sketch.
Yeah.
Like, they love that.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy.
Anytime you guys tweet out to Michelle Trachtenberg, and she will love it and appreciate it.
That
Yeah.
one and the snuggle, like the snuggle.
The fabric softening bear.
That's a Tom Root special.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah.
ad-lib. That was an uncomfortably
Yeah.
written sketch.
Anytime
that we all,
it's creepy bears, it's Tom Root. Our writer Tom
we
Root.
started to wonder about him after
Yeah.
that sketch.
He's a furry.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank you
very much. Have a good rest of the
Breckin,
day.
can I have a quick picture with you real quick? Thanks, man. As fast as possible.
Flip that shit.
Yeah, right.
Solve this current situation.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you, man.